Well, the life in the cities was completely different from in the countryside. In the cities, students need to study very a lot because the market in the city is very competitive, and if you don't have to degrees from the top universities and some certificate, that's very difficult for you to find a stable job with a good income.
Thank you for that insightful perspective. It's very true that the competitive nature of city life often pushes individuals to pursue higher education and additional qualifications to secure stable, high-paying jobs. Let's move on to the second question. Is the way people spend free time different from the past?
Well, the way people spend time in the past was completely different from now. In the past, people had tendency to use their leisure time to go outside or play with their friends or even do household chores. But now, with the development of technologies, but pe- people nowadays had tendency to use a whole day and most of the leisure time for playing and using phone for surfing internet or playing video games.
That is spot on. It's fascinating how the rise of digital technology has shifted leisure activities from primarily physical and social pastimes to more individualized screen-based interactions. Let's move to the third question. Is your lifestyle different from your parents' lifestyle?
Well, definitely yes. My last life was completely different from my parents' one. Well, my lifestyle had tendency to stay too late, and I study and also complete my project for a long time. So I often stay late. But my parents don't think is can be beneficial for their health though. So they choose to sleep early, but in the morning they will wake up early to finish the rest of the deadline.
It's quite evident that daily routines have evolved significantly across generations. Your habit of working late contrasts with your parents' preference for early rest, highlighting different approaches to productivity and health. Let's proceed to the fourth question. Are weekdays very different from weekends for you?
Well, definitely yes. In weekdays, that is one of the most of them are busy day for me because I need to do many things like work, doing my project, and also studying from to prepare for New Year's in when I begin to return when I begin to return to school and also but and other weekend that's the time for me to relax and escape from the hustle of city life and recharge my energy.
I see. So your weekdays are quite structured and demanding, while your weekends serve as a vital opportunity to unwind and restore your energy. Let's move to the next question. Is shopping today different from 10 years ago?
Well, definitely yes. In the past, people had tendency to go directly to store to choose what they want to buy, such as about food or even some essential tools. But now people had tendency to use shopping apps like TikTok Shop, Lazada to buy the products they want from from their home, and they just need to pay some shipping pay shipping fees.
You've highlighted a significant shift in consumer behavior. The rise of e-commerce platforms has certainly made shopping incredibly convenient, allowing people to browse and purchase a vast array of goods from the comfort of their homes with just a few taps. Let's move on to the next question. Is the music young people listen to different from older generations?
Well, definitely yes. The music, which is listened by the young generation, has a big sound and also like rap and pop with a fast sounds, and also it is very to it is used for the party, but with the with the elderly, they had tendency to listen classical music, which make the sense of peace, and also they can they can feel relaxed when listening.
That's a very accurate observation. The contrast between the energetic, fast-paced music favored by the youth and the calming, peaceful nature of classical music appreciated by older generations is a wonderful example of how cultural tastes diversify over time. Let's move to the next question. Is the way people communicate different from 10 years ago?
Well, definitely yes. In the past, they only have only there's only way to communicate is that uh, talking face to face, and you can use some other ways such as using letters and many. But now with the development of technology, people now have tendency to use the phone for texting directly to talk what they want. So they don't need to go directly to there for face-to-face talking.
You're absolutely right. The transformation in communication has been astounding. Nowadays, instant messaging and video calls allow us to connect with anyone anywhere instantly, which has really minimized the need for physical presence in many daily interactions. Let's proceed to the eighth question. Is your hometown different now compared to your childhood?
Well, definitely yes. Since in the past, my hometown was just a peaceful village with a many empty place for me to hang out with my friends to play football. But now with urbanization and development of technologies, my hometown now is a cities with many skyscraper and high-rise building.
That's quite a transformation. It's remarkable how rapidly urbanization can reshape a landscape, turning a quiet, open village into a bustling urban area filled with modern developments. Let's move to the ninth question. Are children's lives different today compared to the past?
Well, definitely yes. In the past, the children is only can is the children in the past can play have method such as hang out with their friends or you play some traditional games. But now the life has changed. The, with the development of technologies and the urbanization, children life are now children need to study more because the market is so competitive, and also the entertaining way of them is changing. Now they only use development of they only use some digital device such as laptop, iPad and phone to play video games for entertaining.
You've made an excellent point about how technology and academic pressures have transformed childhood, moving away from outdoor play and towards more structured digital experiences. Let's move to the final question on our list. Is work-life balance different for your generation?
Well, I think work-life balance is very is different from my generation because everyone has their own fake schedule. So some schedule can be very suitable with this one, but if you use it for another people, it can lead to many issues, and that also can decrease their productivity. So I think it's completely
That's a very
different.
perceptive point. Exactly. It's incredibly individual and depends on personal priorities and values, meaning that a one-size-fits-all approach simply doesn't work. We've covered all 10 questions from the first image. Would you like to continue with the questions from the second image, which focus on how things have changed?
Yes.
Wonderful. Let's move on to the questions about how things have changed, as seen in the second image. Here is the first question for this section. How has technology changed the way people communicate?
Well, the people, the the way people communicate has completely changed. In the past, people had tendency to talk face to, face to face, and they seldom texting or calling. But now with the development of technologies, texting and calling now is very straightforward. So now people have tendency to use it to communicate from the far.
That's a very clear explanation of the shift we've seen. The ability to connect instantly has not only made staying in touch easier, but it has fundamentally altered how we maintain relationships across distances. Let's look at the next question from the second image. How has your hometown changed over the years?
Well, in the past, my hometown was just a peaceful village with many trees and refreshing atmosphere, and there have many places for me to hang out with my friends. But now my hometown was a big cities with many high-rise building and skyscraper, and also many kinds of service.
That paints a clear picture of the dramatic evolution your hometown has undergone. It sounds like a significant shift from a serene, natural environment to a vibrant, service-oriented urban center. Let's proceed to the next question from the second image. How has the way people shopped changed?
Well, in the past, people had tendency to go directly to store to choose the product they want to buy. But now with the development of technologies, now people had now people just stay at home and open the shopping apps to choose the product they want and buy it, and they just need to pay more some shipping fees for the shipper.
That's an excellent point regarding the transformation of retail. The shift towards e-commerce has made shopping incredibly accessible, allowing us to acquire almost anything with just a tap on our screens. Let's move to the next question. How has your taste in music changed since you were younger?
Well, when I was just a child, I had tendency to learn uh, songs with a fast rhyme, and because I think it's make my mind feel better, and I can concentrate much more. But now I prefer the classical music because now I think I need to feel unwind because it can help me unwind and I can feel better.
It's interesting how as we grow and face different responsibilities, our preferences shift towards music that promotes calm and focus. It's a very natural progression. Let's move to the next question. How has the role of women in society changed in your country?
Well, the role of women has completely changed in my country, Vietnam. In the past, most of women was forced to use to stay at home and only do household chore. But now that has completely changed. Now women have the right to study universities and play a significant role in government.
It is truly inspiring to see the significant progress in women's rights and opportunities in Vietnam, as they are now excelling in education, leadership, and public service. Let's move to the next question. How have people's eating habits changed in your country?
Well, in the past, people in my country, Vietnam, was have would have would just pass the war, the protecting country war, so they are not food for there, so they just only care about the amount of the food to make themselves full. But now, with the development of the country, and also now people is care about is care more about the quality of the food they eat and the nutrition of it.
That's a remarkable shift from focusing simply on quantity to prioritizing quality and nutrition. Today, many people are much more mindful of their health, incorporating more organic foods, fresh ingredients, and balanced diets into their daily lives, influenced by both traditional values and modern nutritional science. Let's move to the next question. How has the way students study changed?
Well, in the past, there are the student is only has the way to study better is that come to some extra classes was taught by some teachers, but now they can do it themselves by buying some online courses and follow it to become better, so they can learn it in their own pace.
You've pinpointed a major shift towards self-directed learning. The availability of online resources and digital courses has truly democratized education, allowing students to tailor their study schedules and explore subjects at their own speed in a way that wasn't possible before. Let's move to the next question. How has the workplace changed in recent decades?
Well, I think the workplace has completely changed. In the past, you just needed a university degree to have a good job with a high income. But now, with the development of technologies and also the market is becoming very more competitive. Now there's only you need to a degree from the top university in Vietnam, and also you need some many certificate and experience to have a job with a high income, with a stable and high income.
You've hit on a crucial point about the evolving nature of the job market. Today's workplace demands a combination of higher education, continuous skill development, and adaptable experience to remain competitive. Let's move to the next question. How has social media changed people's daily lives?
I think the social media has completely changed the way people in daily life. In the past, there's no social media, so they only stay at home and do household chore, and also the time they sleep is very early, like 10 p.m. But now with the social media, people have many things to do, such as about job and also for their entertaining. So they often stay up late and to finish the deadline, and or even entertaining and playing some video games.
You're describing how social media has really blurred the lines between work and leisure, which often leads to late nights and less sleep. It's transformed our routines, making us constantly connected. Let's move to the final question of this section. How has transport changed where you live?
Well, the transport has completely changed. In the past, if I only have two choice is that going use public transport like bus. There's only bus and nothing. And other thing is that I have to only own bicycle, because at that time I the motorbike or even a car is very expensive, and no many not many family have enough money to buy it. But now develop it very different. Now public transport is very widespread. Everything you can use it to go almost everywhere in cities. And also now the price for the motorbike is decreased, so it's very affordable for people or even a student.
You've given a very comprehensive answer that shows how both public and private transport have become much more accessible and diversified in Hanoi. That brings us to the end of our practice session today. You've done a fantastic job answering all of those questions thoroughly and thoughtfully, providing excellent insights into how various aspects of life have changed. Keep up the great work, and I wish you the best of luck with your IELTS preparation.
Okay.